Thanks, Susie. Good afternoon, everyone. And thanks for being here in person or watching virtually online. On behalf of Syracuse University and Syracuse Athletics, I am absolutely delighted today to introduce and welcome back to campus our new women's lacrosse head coach, Kayla Treanor. In a relatively short time, Kayla has achieved, frankly, what many failed to accomplish in their entire career. Her knowledge, passion, and commitment to women's lacrosse is unsurpassed. In her time at Boston College, Coach Treanor mentored and developed two of the last three Tourton Award winners. She's coached in the last three national championship games, including winning a championship this year. As a player, Kayla's accomplishments would take me about a half hour to recite. Suffice to say, she's one of the best players in the history of women's lacrosse. When I met with Coach Treanor last week, I was really impressed with her overall philosophies to the sport, her knowledge of the sport, and her commitment to developing her student athletes both academically and athletically. Kayla's a perfect fit for our culture. I want to thank members of our search committee, chaired by Deputy Athletics Director Kim Keenan-Kirkpatrick. Their recommendation to me of Kayla was unanimous. I look forward to working with Coach Treanor, her staff, and our current team, alumni and fans, as together we build on the legacy of success and continue to keep Syracuse women's lacrosse as one of the elite and premier programs in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kayla Treanor.
First of all, I'd like to thank Chancellor Severud, John Wildak, Kim Keenan-Kirkpatrick, and the search committee for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm really excited to be back at Syracuse. I'd like to say some thank yous to people that have helped me get to where I am. I have a lot of appreciation and gratitude for a lot of people, but in particular, I'd like to start with Gary Gate. I grew up in Niskuna, New York, about 2 hours away from here. I was a soccer and basketball player mostly, and he recruited me to come here to Syracuse, and he took a chance on me and gave me an opportunity that changed my life, and he's been a mentor, a friend, a peer of mine for quite some time, and you know, I owe a lot of my success to him taking that chance on me as a player and then keeping me in his life and just supporting me all the way through. So thank you to Gary. After I left college, I was really fortunate that I had some amazing mentors. First, I went to Harvard University and I worked with Carla Farkas, who was a goalie here at Syracuse, and Lisa Miller, who was the head coach here before Gary. And I had an amazing year with them at Harvard. I learned a lot, and it was great to have some Syracuse people with me in my first coaching job. And then I went to Boston College, and I worked alongside Jen Kent and Acacia Walker-Weinstein. And, you know, they taught me a lot, and they trusted me, and they brought me into their family, and they loved me. You know, certainly they taught me how to be a championship coach. But what I appreciate is that they will be my lifelong friends. So I have to thank Acacia Walker-Weinstein for giving me an incredible opportunity to be on her staff and just have an amazing run at Boston College. I'd also really like to thank all of the players that I got to coach at Harvard and at Boston College. You are why we coach. You're certainly why I coach. You know, you're all really special to me. You mean a lot to me, and I love all of you. And then lastly, I'd like to thank my friends and family and boyfriend for supporting me and allowing me to chase my dreams and, being along this ride with me the whole time. It means a lot to me. So your support is certainly why I'm here today, so thank you. And then with the future of the lacrosse program, it's really quite simple to me. It's two major things. I want the student athletes to come here and love their experience. I want them to leave and say the same things I did, that this was the greatest 4 years of their life. I want them to laugh. I want them to dance. I want them to just really have amazing friendships and relationships with the people in the community. I want them to do great academically. It's my niece. Hopefully she plays here one day. 40 something. So I want them to love their experience. That's really important to me. That's what life is all about, valuing people and that they get to enjoy all that's so great about this place. And then my second goal is that I want to bring a national championship back to Syracuse University. We've been really close for a long time, and my goal is to compete for championships every year. But in particular, I really would like to bring a national championship back to Syracuse. So thank you very much for everyone being here, and I appreciate everyone, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Hi, Kayla, Nico from CNY Central here in town, and John was just mentioning the accomplishments. I'm sure this was a dream of yours, but for it to happen so quickly, and at your alma mater, no less. I mean, how crazy is this for you to all to take in over the last couple weeks, especially?
Certainly, it's an amazing opportunity. I get to come back and coach at my alma mater at a young age, and not many coaches get to come back and coach where they played, so I certainly feel really lucky, and I'm very thankful for everyone who's gotten me here and given me this opportunity. I'm really excited for the future.
Welcome back. Congratulations. When you left here 5 years ago, did you have any concept of coming back to be the head coach in 5 years? Is that a little bit ahead of your schedule, or what were your thoughts?
For me, this is a destination I've wanted to be and I've been preparing for, I think, my whole life. And I've wanted to be a head coach, and I've always wanted to coach. I'm a coach's kid. My father has coached basketball his whole life, and I chose Syracuse because I wanted to pick a place that could help me develop into a good coach. So it's certainly been something that's a lifelong goal of mine, and I'm just really fortunate that it gets to be here.
Okay, obviously playing 4 years here and being an All-American, but what did you learn in those years at Boston College, being able to win a national championship this past year? What did that teach you to become the coach that you want to be?
It's certainly one thing to be a player on a really great team, but it's another to be coaching a championship level team. And it's taught me a lot, and I've been really fortunate that in such a short amount of time, I've been able to have a championship experience each year I coached at Boston College. I've been able to coach in the national championship game each year I've been with that program, and this past year we got to win a national championship. So it's been really unique. I'm really fortunate that I was able to be a part of that program, but I'm looking forward to taking everything I learned from Acacia and that staff and really developing my own ideas, my own philosophies, and bringing it here to Syracuse.
Kayla, you talked about trying to win a national title here, and obviously at BC you had the experience of being close, accomplishing it. Syracuse has been close, and hoping to accomplish it. What can you take from kind of that experience particularly and kind of apply it here?
Yeah, well, certainly it's a similar situation that this program is in that we were at Boston College, and I definitely learned a lot. Winning a national championship is not something that's just guaranteed. It's not something that if you want it, you get it. It's not something that if you feel like the time is right, you're just going to get it. It's something that takes a tremendous amount of work and discipline and effort and commitment. It's also something that, like I said, is never guaranteed. You can go for it and you could come up short. So I think I know what it takes now with the pieces and the commitment and the discipline and some of those other areas. Certainly Syracuse has a lot of success, and I'm looking to build upon that success to hopefully bring home a championship.
Kayla, you're so young. You're replacing a guy who's twice your age. You're one of the youngest coaches in Division I, head coaches. What makes you feel like you're ready for this?
That's a question I've gotten quite a bit. I am ready. This is an opportunity, like I said, that I've wanted for a long time. It's not something that's just stumbled upon. I've been working for this my whole life. And I think the reason I'm very confident is that my experience has been really unique. Of the last 8 Final Fours, I've been at 7 of them. And I've been able to coach and play at a really high level, and that gives me a lot of confidence. And, you know, with this past year winning the championship, now I really know what it takes in order to make your team successful and to have chemistry and to have your players believe in themselves, which is a huge part of it. So I think my experience, although it's short, it's really unique. You know, coaches coach their whole life and never get to coach in a Final Four or in the ACC. And, you know, it's taken a lot of hard work, but really a lot of luck as well. And I've had amazing people in my life to guide me and mentor me. So although it's been short, I certainly think it's unique, and I do feel ready to take this team and prepare and compete for a championship.
I asked Coach Gate last week what Syracuse means to him. For you, you grew up, you know, not too far from here. What does Syracuse mean to you?
That's a great question. For me, Syracuse is all about the family. I mean, just over the past couple of weeks, just the support that I've gotten coaching against my alma mater, and then, you know, the support I've gotten, people believing in me to get this job, and then, you know, today the announcement going out, and just everyone, all the alums and all the people that have been, you know, touching this program, the support I've gotten is unbelievable. And, you know, for me, I said it feels like I'm coming home. This certainly feels like home to me, and it's the people here that's the reason for that. You know, I'm so happy to be coming home to Syracuse alums and families that mean so much to me and that have taken me in. And for me, it's all about family and coming back and sharing this lacrosse experience with the people that I care about the most.
Kayla, would you say having graduated just 5 years ago creates an advantage that you are close in age with your players?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's an advantage. I think there's definitely some things that work in my favor, especially in recruiting, that, you know, I'm still relevant, I'm still playing lacrosse, I'm still competing myself. So I think there are some things that will help, but, you know, I think you are who you are, and, you know, I think I'm ready and I'm prepared to coach this team. But certainly there might be some advantages, but I don't think it's like that's the end-all be-all.
So Kayla, I know a lot of programs, right, the head coach tends to be the disciplinarian, and then the assistant coaches tend to be supporters. It would have been very hard for me to be a disciplinarian at 27 years old. How comfortable are you kind of doing that, and kind of what makes you, I guess, comfortable doing that?
Mm-hmm. So for me, one of my coaching philosophies is that discipline wins. I know that that is what it takes for a program to win, and I think it's interesting you say the word discipline, because that's something that I feel really confident that this program needs, and I know it will help them in achieving their goal of wanting to win a championship. So For me, it's really simple. It's really easy. I know that's what it takes to win. So I'm looking to help my team win, and that's certainly something I'm looking forward to doing.
Kayla, you mentioned what Gary Gate means to you. What were those initial conversations like when you said, I want to become the head coach of the women's team and follow in your footsteps, so to say?
Yeah, Coach Gate and I have a really unique bond, and something he's taught me is just the belief he has in his players, you know, and really just the people in his life. And when he really believes in you, it's amazing what you can accomplish. And that's something I've took with me, you know, in my coaching career. And just the past couple of weeks or days, or, you know, I don't even know how long it's been, but, you know, he believes in me, and that's a really powerful thing. And I appreciate him a lot for that. And I'm just looking forward to continuing to be able to work with him and, once again, returning home to the Syracuse family.
This probably should have been my first question, but how soon after Gary announced, or it was announced that Gary was moving to the men's team, did you call? Were you one of the first? Did they call you? How did that all go down?
It's been quite a whirlwind, so I'm not even sure how it exactly played out, but yeah, Syracuse University, you know, they reached out, the athletic department, and I got to go through the process and interview with the search committee and get to be on campus, which was really special. And from there, it just took a couple days, and quite recently, they offered me the job. And you know, although it's hard to say goodbye to a lot of people, it certainly is. This is the opportunity I've wanted for a long time.
If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them.
John, was her age ever a factor for you?
Pardon me?
Was her age ever a factor for you?
No, Mark. And anticipating that question, let me a little research our crack staff did. Okay? Pat Summitt was 23. She became head coach of Tennessee women's basketball. Okay? Mike Krzyzewski, 27, head coach at Duke. Tara Vanderveer, 25, at Idaho. Closer to home, Coach Boeheim, 31. Brad Stevens was 30, and he was named head coach of Butler. Gino Auriemma, 31, head coach of Connecticut. So I think your question's answered. Not a concern at all.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, it's been a crazy month for you. Obviously, with both lacrosse programs. You mentioned last week that you were doing interviews, and here we are today at Kayla's introduction. What was it during the interview process that jumped out right away that said, you know what, she is the person to take that next step and get this program to the national title?
Good question. Maturation beyond her years, her knowledge of the sport, how much the sport means to her. You can't teach passion. People either have passion or they don't. Kayla has it. Her experience as a player, as a coach, you know, what she did on the coaching front, what she did at elite level, the players that she developed. So it was funny because we were scheduled to meet for, I think, half an hour, and extended like an hour, and Kim knocked on the door, so I want to get her to dinner, John. And it was just a great conversation. You know, I asked her very direct questions, and she answered them beautifully.
You might have just answered half of that. But I guess what answer or what subject did you guys talk about that made you think her maturation is such as the names you gave earlier versus, you know, your typical 27-year-old?
Chris, two things really stuck with me. Number one is just her knowledge, her philosophy of the sport, development of players, techniques, the players that she's developed. You know, 2 of the last 3 Tourton Award winners at Boston College. Recruiting, she loves to recruit. Any successful head coach, you better love to recruit. So there was that, and then supplemented with that is just her commitment to the student athletes, off the field, academically, socially, develop them as people. And that's, you want a coach to have those values. And Kayla has them.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.